Welcome to the module on inventory, economic order quantity. EOQ, or the economic order quantity, is fundamental to all inventory models. So in this module, we'll try to see what it is. Let's understand the basic model and its assumptions. At the basic level, we are going to assume that there is only a single product for which we are going to order. The demand rate for the product is known and is a constant D units per year. Shortages are not permitted. No order lead time, that is supply is instantaneous. As soon as we supply, the material is going to be delivered. The other cost parameters that we are going to use in this model are K, the fixed cost per order, C, the cost per unit, and H, the holding cost per unit per year. The problem on hand is to find the quantity Q per order so as to minimize the total cost. Let's look at the dynamics of the basic model. The graph that you see in this page represents the dynamics of the inventory. We are going to assume that some quantity Q is being ordered, and from that inventory demand is met. So the slope of this graph is minus D, which caters to the demand rate, and demand is D units per year. So if you're going to satisfy D units, then we have to purchase the D units. So the material cost is going to be C into D. Let's hold on to that. Now there is Q units in each order. So this represents one order cycle. So this represents one order cycle T. So in one order cycle, we are going to have Q units. So this implies that the number of orders per year is going to be N, which is nothing but D by Q. So that will be total number of orders that we are going to give if we are going to order in batches of Q. And since the cycle length, that is your T, the cycle length T can be given as 1 by N, or T is equal to Q by D. That gives the duration of how long your inventory is going to last, or the time between orders. Now, the third quantity is the average inventory held is given as Q by 2. Now at the start of the period, you see Q units are being held. At the end of the period, 0 units of the inventory is being held. So inventory goes from Q to 0 in one period, and the same pattern keeps repeating for multiple periods. So that means the average would be somewhere here, right? So average is going to be Q by 2 units. That is what is being mentioned. Now, with that, let us try and compute the economic order quantity so as to minimize the total cost. So total cost can be divided into three components: the annual material cost, annual order cost, and the holding cost. The material cost, since we are going to sell D units in the entire year, the material cost can simply be given as D into C. D is the total demand per year and C is the cost per unit, plus the annual order cost is nothing but the number of orders in that year multiplied by the cost per order, which is number of orders per year is D by Q into K rupees per order. That is the order cost, plus the annual holding cost, the cost to hold the average inventory. So the annual holding cost is average annual holding cost. So we are going to hold an average of Q by 2 as inventory, and the cost per holding 1 unit of inventory for 1 year is represented by this parameter H. So now we have a nice expression for this total cost for a given value of Q. It's D into C plus D by Q into K plus Q by 2 into H. So if we can simply differentiate with respect to Q, set to 0, solve for Q, and we can get the expression for economic evoke Q. That is Q star is equal to square root of 2kd by h. As simple as that. So that is our economic order quantity. This is quite a trivial expression. It's quite easy to differentiate it. So I'm not showing the steps. So the economic order quantity is simply given as root of 2kd by h. A side note on this small h, that is holding cost per unit per year. So computing this holding cost, we have to make some assumptions. You can consider this holding cost is like some sort of an interest that we pay. For example, it can even include the opportunity cost, or the taxes and insurance, and the other cost that is incurred in actually holding that amount of inventory with us. So in that case, our inventory H can simply be given as H is equal to say I into C, where I is your annual interest rate and C is the cost per unit. We can take a short example. Suppose a product cost rupees say 180 per unit and incurs and let us say I is 37%. Remember, I is the annual interest rate. In that case, our H comes out to be 0.37 into 180, which is rupees 66.60. Now, the importance of this comes from the fact that this is a cost. So this is the cost to hold 1 unit of inventory over 1 year. So this is a cost to hold 1 unit of inventory over 1 year. So suppose, just to extend it, suppose we hold say 300 units for say 5 years. This means that our holding cost over this 5-year period will be 5 into 300 into 66.60, which comes out to be 99,900 rupees. So this is how we can compute a holding cost if you know the interest rate and the cost per product. Let's take a now let's look at an example for this EOQ. At a shop, the demand of soft drinks is 60 per week. Each drink costs rupees 15 to the shop and sells for rupees 20. A fixed ordering cost of rupees 50 is incurred each time an order is placed with supplier. Shop incurs a holding cost of 30% of the cost. What is the number of soft drinks that the shop should order in each lot? Now, let's write out the parameters and variables that we observe here. So let's just start with the first one. So the demand D is given as 60 soft drinks. So let's just call it as units per week, which let's annualize it. 60 into 52 weeks comes out to be 3120 units per year. The cost C per soft drink that the shop incurs is rupees 15 per unit, and the selling price doesn't matter for us. The fixed ordering cost, that is K, is rupees 50 per order. And then we also have I, which is given as 30%. Remember, I is the annual interest rate. So using that, we can actually compute our H, which is nothing but I into C, which is given as 0.3 into 15, which is rupees 4.5 per unit per year. So here, observe that your demand is also in units per year, and your holding cost is also rupees per unit per year. We need to ensure that both are in the same units. So the interest rate is usually comes as annual interest rate. It is easy to convert everything into annual demand and annual holding cost. Now, with this information, we can compute the EOQ quantity, that is your Q star, as per our EOQ expression, turns out to be 2 into K into T divided by H, which comes out to be 263.31 units per order, which is approximately equal to 264 units per order. That is your Q star. We can also compute other parameters of interest. So for example, the number of orders that comes in that year, placed in that year, is N star is nothing but D by Q star, which if we compute will comes to about 11.84 orders per year, slightly less than 12 orders a year, and your actual cycle length or order cycle is T star, which is nothing but Q star by D, which comes out to be about 0.0843 years, or if you multiply it by 52, you can get it in weeks as 4.3885 weeks. This is the full computations for our EOQ. Of course, the EOQ expression itself is only the Q star, but remember what the shop will need to do is every 4.3885 weeks it is going to place an order of quantity Q star, which is 264 units, and to meet the demand it is need to make 11.84 orders in that entire year. By the way, we had made one assumption here which is not explicitly mentioned in the question, that is on the supply is instantaneous. So unless otherwise mentioned, you can assume that the supply is instantaneous. So this is one basic example for our EOQ. Let's plot the cost function and try to see how they change over time. We have already seen that the material cost is incurred irrespective of whatever the value of Q that you are going to take, because the material cost is nothing but C into D. There is no Q involved in that. So only other two costs that we have are the order cost and the holding cost. So order cost is nothing but K into D by Q. So as Q becomes larger and larger, the total ordering cost K into D by Q is going to fall down. So here in this graph you see Q on the x-axis and the total rupee value on the y-axis. So as Q becomes large, your order cost is going to fall down because you're going to make less orders in that year. The red line here represents your holding cost, which is nothing but H into Q by 2. It is directly proportional to the order quantity Q. So as Q increases, this increases linearly. So our economic order quantity is at exactly the point where your order cost equals your holding cost. That's represented as your Q star. And the yellow line here represents the total cost. In this case, total cost is just taken as sum of these two, the order cost and the holding cost. If you add the material cost, since it's constant, the entire curve will just shift upwards, but the shape is going to remain the same. So one interesting thing, additional thing you can observe is that the curve, the total cost curve, is actually flat around your Q star. So what it implies is, even if you're not able to take the exact Q star value, that is 263.31 in our case, any smaller values close to it, the total cost doesn't change much. So that's why even if you're little away from the optimum, still the system performs reasonably well. So in summary, we have taken a look at the economic order quantity where Q star is given as root of 2 KD by H. It essentially looks at the trade-off between the fixed order cost and the holding costs. Please ensure the units are consistent, annualize the demand as well as ensure that the holding cost is also per unit per year. And this EOQ is going to be the basis for analysis of more complex systems.